Hi, my name is Emma, and today I'm going to tell you the real story of my friend Lara. It's not easy to talk about because it involves a kind of betrayal that cuts deeper than just business. It felt like her own father sold her off, except in this case, the father was the man who mentored her, and the marriage was a corporate sacrifice. Lara was brilliant. She started at VanceTech, a mid-sized robotics firm, straight out of college. Her boss, Mr. Vance, the founder himself, took her under his wing. He wasn't just her manager, he became a father figure. He praised her ideas, pushed her hard, and gave her incredible opportunities. She lived and breathed VanceTech. For 8 years, she poured everything into that company, believing in Mr. Vance's vision, believing she was part of something special, part of his family. She rose quickly to VP of Innovation, his clear protege. Then came the merger talks with Synergix Solutions, a massive tech conglomerate. It was pitched as a dream deal, VanceTech's cutting-edge robotics paired with Synergix's global reach. Mr. Vance was practically glowing. He told Lara this was their golden ticket, the culmination of everything they'd built. He put Lara front and center, having her lead the integration planning. She worked 18-hour days, fueled by loyalty and the promise of an even brighter future under the Synergix umbrella. She trusted him implicitly. There was another key player, Ethan Reed, a slick, ruthlessly ambitious executive Synergix sent to oversee the transition. From the start, Ethan treated Lara with a strange mix of condescension and appraisal, like he was sizing her up. Lara found him arrogant and dismissive of her team's work, but Mr. Vance kept urging patience. "Play the long game, Lara," he'd say. "This is bigger than personalities." The cracks started showing subtly. Lara presented a crucial integration strategy to the Joint Leadership Committee, a plan she'd slaved over, incorporating VanceTech's core strengths. Ethan ripped it apart publicly, calling it quaint and insufficiently scalable. What hurt more was Mr. Vance's silence. Later, in private, he just patted her shoulder. "Ethan's got Synergix's ear. We need to accommodate his perspective." Lara felt a cold dread but buried it. Then came the blow. Lara walked into Mr. Vance's office unannounced one evening, needing his signature on a budget report. The door was slightly ajar. Inside, she heard Mr. Vance and Ethan, their voices low but urgent. "Final hurdle, Martin," Ethan was saying. Hearing Mr. Vance's first name felt jarring. Synergix leadership needs absolute confidence in the new structure. Lara's department, her approach is too independent. It clashes with our standardized model. Lara froze, her hand tightening on the doorframe. "Mr." Vance sighed, a sound heavy with something Lara had never heard before. Resignation. Or was it calculation? "Lara's brilliant, Ethan. She built that department." "Exactly," Ethan countered smoothly. "She built her fiefdom. Synergix needs integration, not independent kingdoms. Her presence, frankly, is a sticking point for the board. They see her loyalty as divisive, a potential source of friction." A long pause. Lara's heart hammered against her ribs. This couldn't be happening. "What are you proposing?" Mr. Vance asked, his voice flat. "A clean break," Ethan stated. "We absorb her team into the main Synergix R&D structure under my direct report. Lara, we offer her a generous severance. A golden parachute. Quietly. We frame it as her choosing to pursue new opportunities after the successful merger." Lara felt the floor tilt. They were discussing erasing her, the person who'd given VanceTech her best years. Severance? After everything, then came the words that felt like a physical blow. "Martin." Ethan's voice dropped lower, conspiratorial. "Think of the bigger picture. The board sees eliminating her position as removing a key obstacle. It shows decisive leadership on your part. It guarantees the merger goes through smoothly. your legacy, the value of your life's work, secured. Isn't that worth streamlining? Mr. Vance was silent for what felt like an eternity. Lara held her breath, a desperate, foolish hope flickering that he'd defend her, that he'd tell Ethan to go to hell. Instead, he spoke, his voice devoid of the warmth she knew. You're right, Ethan. It's regrettable, but necessary for the future. For VanceTech's legacy within Synergix. We need this merger. Lara. Lara will understand. Eventually. She's resilient. Asterisk regrettable. Necessary. She'll understand. Asterisk the words echoed in Lara's skull. Her mentor, her champion, the man she saw as a second father, had just agreed to sell her out. To trade her career, her loyalty, her very identity at the company she helped build, for a smoother merger and his own legacy. He'd sold her to Ethan and Synergix like she was obsolete equipment. The betrayal was so profound, so personal, it stole her breath. Tears blurred her vision, hot and furious, but something else surged beneath the pain. A cold, hard resolve. She wouldn't go quietly. She wouldn't let them rewrite history and paint her exit as voluntary. Her hand, trembling, slipped into her blazer pocket. Her phone. Almost instinctively, driven by a survival instinct she didn't know she possessed, she opened her voice memo app and hit record. She held her breath, pressing herself against the wall just outside the door. She captured it all. Ethan's cold calculus about her being an obstacle. His dismissal of her department's work. The insidious suggestion that removing her showed Mr. Vance's decisive leadership. And the worst part, Mr. Vance's quiet, devastating agreement. She'll understand. Eventually. The resignation in his voice as he bartered her future for his security. The recording ran for another 2 minutes, capturing their casual transition to discussing golf. The deal on her life seemingly closed. Lara slipped away silently, her world shattered, but her mind terrifyingly clear. The father figure was gone. Only a ruthless businessman remained. She spent that night in a haze of grief and fury, listening to the recording over and over, the proof of her betrayal etching itself into her soul. She didn't confront them. Not yet. She played the part. She went to meetings, nodded along, all while meticulously copying sensitive documents, emails subtly undermining her authority, project reassignments, budget reallocations away from her team. She documented everything that showed the deliberate sidelining, the setup for her voluntary departure. Her trusted deputy, Ben, noticed her quiet intensity, her sudden distance. When she confided in him, showing him just the tip of the iceberg, his outrage mirrored her own. He became her silent ally inside, feeding her information. The official announcement came a week later. A company-wide email from Mr. Vance, dripping with false praise. It spoke of the exciting new phase under Synergix and difficult decisions for the greater good. It announced the integration of her department under Ethan and, with deep regret, Lara's decision to pursue new horizons after a well-deserved break, thanking her for her invaluable contributions. It was a masterpiece of corporate spin, painting her sacrifice as her own choice. That was Lara's cue. Using a secure, anonymous email service, she sent the voice recording, along with a meticulously compiled dossier of supporting documents, to 3 places: the Synergix main board, excluding Ethan's allies, VanceTech's entire senior staff, including people Lara knew were loyal to the company, not just Vance, and, crucially, Tech Insider Daily, a major industry publication known for digging deep. The email subject line was simple: the real cost of a VanceTech-Synergix merger. Betrayal. The fallout was nuclear. The recording was undeniable. Hearing Mr. Vance, the beloved founder, coldly agreed to sacrifice his star employee for his own gain, and Ethan's manipulative maneuvering, was explosive. Tech Insider ran the story within hours, headlining the leaked audio. Synergix's board, furious at being misled and implicated in such unethical backroom dealing, put the merger on immediate hold. They launched an internal investigation, focusing heavily on Ethan's role. VanceTech employees were in open revolt. Morale plummeted. Senior staff Lara had trusted expressed shock and anger directly to Mr. Vance, Mr. Vance tried damage control, issuing a weak statement about comments taken out of context and misunderstandings during complex negotiations. But the recording spoke for itself. His legacy wasn't secured, it was irrevocably tarnished. The father figure was exposed as a fraud. Ethan was placed on administrative leave by Synergix. His career trajectory halted abruptly, likely permanently. Lara watched it unfold from the sidelines. She never revealed herself as the source. She collected her severance, which Synergix, desperate to contain the scandal, significantly increased, and walked away. The resolution wasn't happy. Not exactly. The company she loved was damaged. People she cared about were hurt. But justice of a sort was served. The betrayers were exposed. Their ambition and political maneuvering blew up spectacularly in their faces. Lara took some time, licked her wounds. The betrayal left a deep scar, a fundamental shift in how she views loyalty and trust. But she's resilient, like Mr. Vance so callously assumed. She landed on her feet, heading a cutting-edge AI research lab at a smaller, ethically driven firm. She's valued there, truly valued. She doesn't regret exposing them. Sometimes, she told me, the only way to break free from being sold off is to make sure everyone knows the price that was paid and who truly profited from the deal. It wasn't her, and it certainly wasn't worth the cost of her trust.